Buongiorno and welcome to Cooking and Eating Healthy with Anna. Today's episode is very good and I'm sure you're going to like it. We're going to be making stuffed chicken breasts with spinach, tomatoes, mozzarella, and then we're going to be making a baked asparagus, and then we're going to be doing garlic mushrooms, and then Joe prepared little appetizers that'll be on program. So we're going to give you that whole spiel today. And we're going to start. I'm going to start with the chicken. So what I did was I took the chicken, I banged it out a little bit because I didn't want it so thick. And not a lot though, you don't want to make it thin. And then you slice it halfway to open pockets. Like this, okay? And then what we're going to do is we're going to put in mozzarella. Well, no, we'll put the spinach, which I made, and I've done that on one of my other episodes with the stuffed sole. The same type of spinach. You're going to saute it with a little garlic, and you're going to do it fresh and raw, and you're just going to keep taking it and tossing it. Put a little salt and pepper and crushed minced garlic, and then put your spinach in, and then you're just going to keep tossing it, no liquid, and just keep tossing it till it goes down, okay? And then we're going to take like a forkful of each, put it into the stuffed chicken, and then I have sliced tomatoes, about 2 slices in each serving. And then on top of that, we're going to put mozzarella. And I have 3 ounces of mozzarella. I don't think I'm going to use it all, but if you want to, you can. Well, might as well put the whole thing, right? We're going to just put the whole 3 ounces. Okay. And then we're going to fold it back over. This is great for if you're having company, and it's a wonderful presentation. Let me just wash my hands for touching that. Got to make sure you don't want bacteria. Then we're going to take olive oil, and we're going to brush on olive oil on the top part of the chicken. So that's 2 teaspoons of olive oil. And this is going to be serving, I have 2 chicken breasts here, so it's going to be serving 2 people. And just brush the whole top of the chicken. And I put it in a baking dish, and I sprayed the baking dish with Pam olive oil spray, if you'd like. And then after you do that, we have for seasoning, we have 1/4 teaspoon of pepper, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/4 teaspoon of oregano, 1/4 teaspoon of thyme, and 1/4 teaspoon of basil. And we put that all in together, mixed it all up. And now I'm just going to take that and sprinkle it all over the chicken breast. It goes a long way. You could probably even make a 3rd one if you like with this seasoning. Okay. And then we're going to take it and put it in a 400-degree oven for 30 minutes. Your temperature on your chicken, if you're doing it with your thermometer, should reach 160, should be the temperature. I'm going to put this in the oven, the 400-degree oven. And I'm going to put my timer on. for 30 minutes. And that's all set. Now, we're going to be doing the mushrooms. I did some ahead of time because I do a lot of mushrooms. So I'm going to show you what they look like when they're cooked. Okay, that's what they look like. And I did 2 pounds. So, you know, that's why I started a little earlier. Okay, and what you're going to do, you're going to take your mushrooms and you're not going to wash them. You're going to wipe them down with paper towels, get the dirt off, take the little stems off, and then you're going to put them with the hole facing down into the pan. Don't put anything in the pan, because what'll happen is, and put it on medium, what'll happen is the mushrooms will make liquid, okay? So you're going to just keep doing that until your liquid forms. So I have it on medium, and while that's doing that, we'll go into the asparagus. And what I did with the asparagus, I took it and I put it in a casserole dish, and I did 25 asparagus, exactly. And it will give you 4 servings. So you get about 6 spares for each serving. And what you're going to do is you're going to just take quarter of a teaspoon of salt, quarter of a teaspoon of pepper, and a teaspoon of olive oil, and you're going to put it across your asparagus. Sprinkle, hold on, don't sprinkle it yet. Put the asparagus, and then I coated it again with the extra virgin olive oil spray. And then you're just going to toss it to make sure your asparagus is coated. And this is going to be going into a 400-degree oven also for 8 to 10 minutes. So we'll do that. And in the meantime, we're looking at our mushrooms here. We're going to take those mushrooms. Here, I got my spatula. And we're just going to, I turn them over. And you're going to say, oh, yeah, and they're sticking. I know they stick a little bit, but you'll just take them and turn them. And you're going to see liquid start forming. I start them off with the hole down, and then I turn them over. Let them sit for a little bit. Now I'm going to take a sip of my water because that's very important. After the mushrooms are done, we're going to take I'll give you a sauce that we're going to make. We take a tablespoon of avocado oil, 2 tablespoons of butter, 1½ teaspoons of garlic, 1½ tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. Now, if you don't like Worcestershire sauce, you could put soy sauce. And then we're going to just saute. Once the mushrooms are done, we're going to just take this, pour it over. I'll take the other ones and show you. And then you're just going to saute them 3 to 4 minutes. And you're going to put a quarter of a teaspoon. Once all of it's done for 3 to 4 minutes, you'll then take a quarter of a teaspoon of salt. I always use kosher salt. And a quarter of a teaspoon of pepper. And then you're just going to sprinkle that in. Toss your mushrooms all up. And then put them in your bowl. And sprinkle little parsley flakes over them to serve them. So that's what we'll do for the mushrooms, garlic mushrooms. And everything else is cooking. So we're just going to keep taking the mushrooms and turning them. And they'll form. You'll see them starting to sweat. Don't be nervous about it being dry because they will start to sweat. About 3 to 4 minutes for that. And I'm going to take the asparagus. I'm going to put those in 8 to 10 minutes. And I'm going to put my other timer on. I'm going to set mine at 8 minutes because my oven works a little quickly. You see the mushrooms are starting to sizzle. And they're starting to sweat a little bit. You're going to keep them in a single layer. You hear them sizzling? These will be done in no time at all. And I wanted to do this with you instead of having everything pretty well done. So you could see it's really not hard if you prep everything ahead of time. And you could have a beautiful meal in no time. Okay, hold on 1 second. And I'm going to take all my dirty dishes here and get rid of them because I don't like a mess. So we'll get rid of all this stuff so it's nice and clear. Okay. Don't puncture it with a fork. You don't want to puncture the mushrooms. Do them with one of these prongs. The mushrooms are still a little hard. Once they start sweating, they get a little softer. Okay, we'll leave those on there. And we'll be back shortly. Oh, while I have you on, let's talk a little bit about the appetizer. We could do that. So, what Joe did today was we took an old recipe. When I was on another diet years ago, they said you had to eat protein in between. So when you got hungry. So I decided, what could I do with protein? And I took regular sausage, Italian sausage, raw, and stuffed it in small little peppers. Well, Joe got a good idea, and he said, how about if we did it with chicken for the program I'm on now? I said, that sounds terrific, Joe. So we took hot sausage, which we buy at Big Y behind the case. We take 2 hot sausage and 2 sweet sausage, and we mix those together. We then take a cookie sheet, line it with foil, and spray it with, you can do the Pam spray olive oil, and then clean out your little peppers, and then once you clean them out, you're going to take that raw mixture of the sweet and hot chicken sausage, and you're going to stuff them full. You know, get down there with a little spoon or a little fork and pat them in there really tight. And then you're going to line them on your cookie sheet that you sprayed, and you're going to put them in a 400-degree oven for 8 to 10 minutes. 20 minutes. Sorry, Joe just corrected me. 20 minutes. And you get the most delicious appetizers you'll ever want to see. And here, I'll show you a red one, what it looks like. This is what it looks like stuffed. And you put them on a nice table. Let me wipe my hand here. You put them on a nice plate, nice decorative plate if you want, and bring them to a party as an appetizer. You have to you could go to like Aldi's or Big Y and buy the bags of, or you could go to Costco's It gives you a wonderful deal. And buy the big bags of them. They're cheaper there. And do a whole slew of them and put them on a beautiful big plate. They're going to love you for it. And they're the most delicious appetizers. So I'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, I'm back. And now the mushrooms are all done. I'm going to show you what they look like. That's what they'll look like in the pan. You could see. And now what we're going to do is I have the butter, the garlic, the avocado oil, the Worcestershire sauce I told you about. And we're just going to put that all in. And we're going to go in, melt the butter, mix a nice sauce. You're just going to melt that up. Put it on a little bit higher. And I'm going to get a plate, hold on, for the asparagus. Well, I'll just take it out and put it in that. I'm going to make the asparagus sauce while everything else is cooking. And the asparagus sauce, we have taken 1 teaspoon of soy sauce, half a teaspoon of balsamic vinegar, and I'm going to put it in a small saucepan here. And a tablespoon of butter. And this is going to go over your asparagus. Okay, and it'll melt down. Just let it go through. And now the mushrooms are doing well. So we're going to take, and we're just, all that liquid we put in, toss your mushrooms. Then you're going to shut it off because your mushrooms are cooked. And you're going to put in your salt and pepper that you measured out. Sprinkle that all over. Toss that in. And that was 1/4 teaspoon of salt and 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. And then we're just going to take it and put it in a nice bowl. These are absolutely delicious, one of Joe's favorites. And I had company 2 days ago, and they absolutely loved it. So I know you'll enjoy it. And then we're just going to take a little bit of parsley. And we're going to sprinkle a little bit on. And this is your dish for your mushrooms. Doesn't it look good? Okay, now we're taking the sauce, the asparagus, and I'll take the asparagus out. I had to leave it in 10 minutes just to let you know it wasn't 8 minutes. It was still a little hard. And we're going to take the asparagus sauce, turn it around, pour it over, and then just toss it in the sauce. But here it's sizzling. Makes a delicious. I want to try to show you everything. Oh, let me shut the burner off here. And here's your asparagus.
Yummy.
Yummy. Okay. So that's your asparagus done. Your mushrooms are done. Your apps are done. And we're just waiting for the chicken to be done. So we'll be back as soon as I take the chicken out. So now I'm taking my trusty thermometer, meat thermometer, and I'm going to check my chicken. And 160. Perfect. And then I'm going to take the chicken out, and I will dress the plates. And look at that. Okay. Now I'm going to have half of one because they are very large. Shut my oven off. These are chicken margaritas. Joseph, you'd like a whole one?
Yes, please.
Okay. Joseph's going to get a whole one. And then we're going to have 6 asparagus. Would you like more asparagus, Joe?
No.
2, 4, 6. And then we're going to put in the wonderful mushrooms. And I had 2 slices of the tomatoes left, and you know I'm not going to waste that. So we're just going to take it and put a little bit of salt and pepper. Would you like pepper?
Okay.
Okay. And here's Joseph's meal. And as you can see, it's beautifully done.
Yummy.
Okay.
Yeah, baby.
And I'm going to take a pepper for me. And this is mine. Okay. And for your people that are on the 365 program, for the asparagus, it's 1 green, 1/4 fat, 0.55 condiments. For the chicken, it's 1 leaner, 3/4 greens, 3 condiments, and 1 fat. And for the mushrooms, it was 1 green, 1.7 fats, 1.04 condiments, and 1 green. And that would be 12 servings for people on program. Other than that, enjoy.
You want to taste it?
I'm going to have a taste. Can't wait to dig into the chicken. Bellissimo. So, buon appetito. Enjoy the evening.